Hi guys, my name is Kevin Onyango, and I am the founder of Mtandao Varsity School of Soft Skills. Soft skills are those characters or behaviors that employers want, or things that attract people to opportunities. But today, I am not alone. Today, I am with... Wait for
you are not alone.
Chiki Kuruka. Hey, Chiki, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Oh, God. It's taken me years to have you here. You know that.
Oh, God, I can't believe you bothered with me for years, man. I would have given up after 10 minutes.
Well, because I know what I gave the show, and also because of experience and what you do. So it has been worth, to be honest with you. So thank you for being here, Chiki.
Asante, thank you.
And,
thank you for having me.
And I'm going to refer to you as a celebrity, as a dance coach, as a journalist. What's the proper name for you?
A boss bitch.
I thought you're that bad, are you?
Huh? No. Boss bitch is a good thing. Gosh, 2021. We've reclaimed the word. I guess a bit of all, an entrepreneur more than anything, a creative entrepreneur.
Right. And I like the part of entrepreneur, and that's where I would like us to concentrate on. And listen, so when I told people that you come to the show, okay, people will refer to you as a dance coach, as a dancer. Nobody mentioned who you live with. And I thought that's quite interesting. So is that
I think also because anyone who knows me knows that I'm very vocal about the fact that women are often reduced to their partners, whereas men don't get the same thing. So I've always felt like my partner is amazing. I love him to death. He's incredible. But I was a human being before him. I will be a human being after him. And his name doesn't appear on my passport. He's not going to be answerable to my sins, and I'm not going to be answerable to his sins, and you know, all of the above. So I'm pretty vocal on the fact that I don't like being referred to as so-and-so's wife. I don't like it.
And I like it you mentioned that, and that's the right place to start with. Most of the times, it's assumed that women like tagging themselves or tagging the names to whom they're married with or who they live with. But you're telling me now that's not, for you, that's not the case. For you, you're who you are and do what you do.
Yeah, and part of who I am is a wife. But if I had an entire suitcase of things of what I am, only one of them is a wife, you know, one of them is a daughter, one of them is a sister, one of them is a friend, one of them is an entrepreneur, one of them is a dancer, one of them is, you know, someone who's intelligent, one of them. So there are so many things that you could associate me with, and only one of them is my husband. So I find it unfortunate that it feels as if as soon as you get married or as soon as you settle down, that all these other things become less and the most important thing becomes your partner. And I've just always had a knee-jerk reaction to that.
Right, that's interesting. And so, Chiki, gosh, I've got some questions. So I need to behave. Listen, I need to behave as well because this
no,
is
you don't.
No, I
God.
do. No, Chiki, listen. If you look at the people I've talked to on this podcast, I've done almost 24 sessions. You're the 25th one, and most of them do not look like me or you. As in, there are people you can judge. Perhaps they could be certain age. You know, so, but here you are. I mean, I know how old you are, but you look, you are relatable to many people. But you have developed this successful business, you know, so there has to be something that you're doing right, and that's what I want to know more. You know, so you're the CEO, if I'm not wrong, of the Dance Shagz. Dance Shagz.
Dance Shagz. Like Oshago.
Okay. Shagz, right. I got it. And so, what should you say that has been some of the ingredients that helped you build this amazing platform? Knowing that who you live with. So was that you or is that someone that you live with?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did a piece recently, a dance piece, if you see on my page, that says no man is an island. And I truly believe that. However, if you look at the multiple companies that I run Kuruka Limited, Kuruka International Limited, obviously I run my brand, and then I run the dance Shagz. Every bit of that is every part of me and every part of the people who I'm with. So, for example, my dancers, I give it up to them. They're incredibly hardworking and creative and patient. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the dance Shagz. Kuruka Limited International, she's now my head of ops for the dance Shagz, but she started off as my PA. If she wasn't as ruthless and hard-hitting as she is, then, you know, I wouldn't have that. My personal brand, if Citizen hadn't taken a chance on me many years ago, then I wouldn't have that. But then on top of it, if I didn't have friends and people, you know, if I didn't have my mom and my sister at the end of the day to cry to and be like, I'm exhausted, then I probably would have broken down by now. Running 3 companies is not particularly easy. If I didn't have my husband at the end of the day to advise me on local, especially local politics, local issues, then I would struggle. So yeah, you would be a liar if you said that everyone in your space didn't contribute to where you are now. And I truly believe everyone has contributed to where I am. That includes my husband.
Now, a lot of people will tell you they're not working in Kenya, right? And they will say that they've tried what they can, but it's not working for them. So you're telling me here your success has involved your family first. So
my success has involved not my family first necessarily. I don't necessarily believe that there has to be some form of like hierarchy, but I require my friends and my family in order to stay sane. And if I can't stay sane, then I can't run businesses.
So what is the role that your family has played in terms? And I want to concentrate mostly on the dance business. So what does the family? So when you were growing up, were you being told like you can do whatever you can, or I mean, I know your background is quite quite interesting. Did the family play a part in building who you are right now? And I'm talking about confidence, because you're a very confident lady. You don't like that at all.
First and foremost, be cautious with confidence, because sometimes it's masking insecurities, you know. Like, I think I come across as the most confident when I'm not necessarily. So I would always say be cautious with that. But with my family, I've been blessed to have such an amazing family. I'm really close with my mum, my sister, my dad, and my cousin who lived in the same house as me. So he's like a brother to me. My parents are both very, very strong in their convictions. My dad is a strong Nigerian man, but he has taught me time and time again that the stereotype of what an African man, that the world says an African man isn't. So he has taught me to challenge everything. When someone says this is what it means to be an African, my dad was just like, not necessarily. And my mum is a boss. Like, my mum had this idea that I don't want my children to have even 1 minute of free time. Like, after school, you must have activities. Like, there's nothing like going home and watching television, going home and hanging out. What's hanging out? Like, you must have activities. So a lot of the skills that I developed actually were as a result of the fact that from a very young age, I was, number one, taught to critically think, because my dad taught me that stereotypes are very wrong. And then number two, to engage in many different activities, to meet different types of people, not to quit when something is hard. My parents just did not allow that to happen. And so, yeah, and then love. I think when you come from a home of genuine love, confidence does become much easier, because who are you proving anything to? You're going home and you're having a, you know, a strong, solid foundation. So, you know, you don't need to prove anything to anyone.
Well, okay, for those just join us, this is International Varsity School of Soft Skills, and I'm talking to Chiki Kuruka, who is the founder of Dance Shagz. The platform talks about soft skills, and today I'm talking to Chiki. Now, Chiki, you're talking about confidence, and you're saying we should be aware of what confidence can do to us. It could be like a place of people hiding. But you'll never interview somebody that lacks confidence, would you?
You'd never what?
You never interview. Like, for example, if you're employing people, for example, you're hiring, you will never take someone who's not confident seriously, isn't it? Let's consider.
Yeah, I would challenge that. So, I think when I opened Kuruka International before the dance Shagz, what I required at that time was a confident person to go out and spread the gospel of my company. Right now, I have people in my organization, and my PA was a perfect example of that. She was incredibly confident, but and that's how she came across. But if you were to ask her, like person to person, she would say no, she was actually really kind of like cautious and nervous. And over time, she's developed skills that have made her genuinely more confident. Now that I have my second company, the Dance Shagz, I have some people in my team that aren't particularly confident in some respects, but are damn confident of their skill set. So if they were to walk into a room, you'd be a bit like, meh. But then as soon as you start questioning them or drilling into what their skill sets are, you realize this person just has a heck of a lot of knowledge. And I do have, like, for example, my head of sales is like that. Her database is to die for, and the way in which she presents is to die for. Would I say she's confident? Not particularly. When she walks into the room, she's definitely the quietest, most kind of like in herself, but she's definitely very knowledgeable about what she does and has a very good network.
Right, but if you had not given that opportunity, you would have realized how good they are. So the starting point, what I'm trying to ask you is, so you don't know anyone really, and they come to the room and you want to give them a particular role, and they're very shy. Yes, they know their knowledge, but it doesn't come out very confidently. So
no, that's why I'm saying I'm challenging you. I understand the answer that you want me to give,
right,
but I don't necessarily agree. So, like I said, my head of sales, she was like that, and in the first maybe 10 minutes, she was really underwhelming to me. And in the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh God. But I think also, if you're a good employer, which not all employers are, if you're a good interviewer, which not all interviewers are, you kind of know how to drill down into what you need. Because I've been in this industry long enough, and the creative arts industry in particular is full of people who talk a good game but don't necessarily deliver. So for me, where I am is, I want people to deliver. So if you spark something in me, be it your network, be it your knowledge, be it the manner in which you're able to create presentations, whatever, that makes me feel like you're going to deliver, then I can overlook what might seem like shyness, which I have done. And with this particular person, it's been successful.
That's interesting. And so for you, so obviously you know how to draw skills from people, you know what you want from your team. But there's somebody here at home, going to school, well, have a degree, have a diploma, and they are struggling to get an employment opportunity. And one of those things that normally affects people when they don't have opportunities, they become stressed, they lose their confidence. And I want Chiku, let us be very, very direct and say, point here, call as it is. Someone can be good, but they lack that confidence. How will you say you can build confidence?
I think I really try and be careful in terminology. So people can misinterpret what you mean by a word like confidence. Confidence isn't necessarily loudness. Confidence isn't necessarily walking into the room and like kind of being imposing. What I would say to the people who aren't necessarily not everyone could be a me, and not every organization requires, I believe, in true diversity, and that's everything from race, tribe, gender, all the way down to personality types, because I think it makes for a rich organization. So what I would say is never lose confidence in your skill set, because if you can articulate your skill set effectively, I think anyone with a modicum of intelligence will be able to pick that up, because we are in a day and age right now where knowledge matters. We've seen an entire president of America who talks a good talk but didn't have a lot of knowledge on political mannerisms. We've seen a COVID crisis because we've had politicians who know how to espouse amazing views but don't necessarily so I think we are in this wonderful time right now where people are looking for reliability, they're looking for knowledge, genuine knowledge, and confidence in skill set. So what I would say is, I know it's frustrating. I've been in the UK and I've done the whole sending out CVs and not getting in responses and all of that stuff. Going to interviews and then people go quiet on you. I know that stuff is frustrating, but try and be aware that every organization is different. Every organization is looking for something else. It might not be a reflection on your ability. It might not be a reflection on your skill set. It might just be that you're not the right fit for that particular organization. I am a perfect example of that. I have 4 dancers. I have spent my life with about 15 dancers. Of those 15 dancers, it's very plausible that 11 of them can ask me, why didn't you choose me for the Dance Shag venture? And they would be right in asking that. And it's not a reflection on their talents. I think they're incredibly talented. I wouldn't have spent so many years with them if I didn't. It's just that for this particular venture, I was looking for a particular set of personalities and a particular set of skills. That's true in every workplace. That's true everywhere you go. It's not necessarily about who you are. It might just be about where the organization is in that period of time. As long as you stay true to the awareness of what your abilities are, be confident in your ability and be able to express that confidence in your abilities. If you're not loud, don't beat yourself up for not being loud. If you're not able to command a room, don't beat yourself up for that, because you are who you are, but you know what you know as well. And it's important to be able to express that.
Wow. Is there a correlation between personality and education?
That's a very good question. I don't even know how to answer that because I'm not a psychologist. All I know is I loved school, and I really enjoyed the experience. And as a result of that, I did really well. I love learning. I love reading. But my sister, who is way more intelligent than I am, let me tell you that for free, didn't do as well as in school and didn't enjoy the experience. I'm the loud one, she's the quiet one. I'm the confident one, she's the shy one. I'm the one who runs a business, she's the one who works for a business, you know? So our personalities are vastly different. But she's very successful.
Sorry. So this is ask about personality. Is you say that you know, when you're looking for dancers, you're looking for particular personality within your team, isn't it?
Particular skill sets.
Right. Right. So there's difference between, can you say someone can have a particular skill set, but they don't have the personality that matches those skills? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking you this.
Yeah. So there's a baseline that I need for every dancer. So if you're a dance instructor, you need to be able to communicate with people. You need to make people feel comfortable. You need to be able to do all of that. So that's the baseline, irrespective of skill set. And then on top of that, so for me, I believe that for my company, I picked the best dancers first and foremost in every genre that I was looking for. But I started with the baseline of, can you interact with people, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff. And then hundreds of people fall into that bracket. So then after that, it just became a conversation about skill set. Are you the best? And my four dancers could not be more different. My hip hop dancer is engaged in everything. Like, say that your car is broken down, he wants to fix it. It's got nothing to do with dance. Say that the shower is broken, he's going to do that. My Vogue dancer wants to teach his class and get the hell out. He's like, I've done my job. I'm not here for a second longer. I'm going home. My Afro dancer is the comedian. He wants to make everyone feel good. So I didn't go for a commonality and personality whatsoever.
Right.
I just
Right.
went for who is the best, I believe, and can they make my clients feel good and comfortable, and can we get on with one another?
Right. Listen, I want to move from this segment and finish, but allow me to go back to personality part. So I don't know about, well, listen, I was born and brought up in Nairobi, but I don't know if there's any dance school in Kenya. I do know that there are lots of dance schools here, even to a degree level. Now, in case, will you look at someone's CV? If you're looking for someone to dance for you, will you take them because they have started dancing or because they can dance?
Because they can dance. Even in the UK, when I was working in the dance industry, I am much more inspired by someone who has, because the thing is, the problem with, even in England, but in Kenya too, you're as soon as you bring in the conversation of dance schooling, it's a privilege, it's a luxury. So automatically it's a certain type of class that is going to be able to afford that. I am so much more inspired by a kid who's had nothing, who has raw talent, who's found their way through, who's, in fact, one of my dancers, that is his story. He came from Isiolo. You know Isiolo, but maybe people tuned in but know Isiolo. When I met him, it was like he had just come to Nairobi, and he had come from like a background in Isiolo where when I met him, he just had fare to come to Nairobi and back. That was it. But he's a fire dancer. And for me, I was inspired by his story. Look, you've come from Isiolo, you've jumped on a bus, you just have fare to come, and you've kind of betted on yourself enough to do that. You've shown me you might not have the most technical skills, but I think it then depends, like, dance is not, for me anyway, the best dancers aren't necessarily the most technical, they're the most passionate. And for me, passion, I go for passion all the time.
Right, and passion is what opens opportunities. And again, for those that have just joined us, my name is Kevin Nyango. I'm speaking to Chiki Kuruka. This is Mtandao Varsity School of Soft Skills. And what the platform does is promote or try and talk about soft skills or those behaviors that attract people to opportunities. Now, Chiki, you mentioned about passion, having a passion. Can you teach passion?
No.
So you either have it or not.
I think you can teach how to express your passion. Like, you can teach someone to better express to someone else that they're passionate. But passion is very personal. You are passionate about something, or you are not passionate about something. My mum told me when I was growing up, in life, do what you're passionate about. And I don't care if what you're passionate about is taking out the garbage, but you should live a life of passion, because living a life of passion is living a life of happiness. And then what that means is you'll strive to be the best.
Right. I like that. But Chiki, lots of people would say they want people passionate about what they do. Even of the interviews nowadays, they want to understand what your leadership skills, what are you passionate about, what you want to do. So what I'm putting again in front of right now is, so you cannot train passion. Can you coach somebody to be passionate in what they are?
No.
So you either have to not. Again, I'll go back to that.
Because passion is a love. Can you train someone to love something? Of course you can't. Like, you either do or you don't. Like I said, you can train how to express your passion. So in an interview, you can train someone how to articulate their passion, but you definitely cannot teach passion. No.
But no. I said, I think we're on the same page here. So we do agree that being passionate is very important in what people do, and it can even makes you be confident because you love what you're doing. You don't care what people say about you because you love what you do.
No, not necessarily. You can be passionate and not be particularly confident. I mean, I mentor, a lot of dancers, and in the world of social media, in the world of imposter syndrome, I think we really need to be careful with words like confidence, like it doesn't matter if you're Beyonce. In fact, Beyonce is famous for being not very confident behind closed doors.
Yes,
So
yes.
I feel like all you can ask someone to do is love what they're doing and be able to express their love for what they're doing. And I think that love and being able to express it is powerful. And I think sometimes that's misinterpreted as confident, because I'm not always confident that I'm making the right decisions. But do you
Oh,
know what? Sod it. I'm just gonna fake it and hope that it works out. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. I'm not, and I think more people, more creatives, more business owners need to be honest about the fact that often you have huge swathes of your time when you're not confident. But what we have learned how to do, if you're talking about soft skills, is articulate our passion. That's something slightly different. We have learned to show the world that we love what we do. That's what we've learned to do. So people are inspired or excited or motivated by that.
I need to know you're this inspiring. To be honest with you. No, I like this stuff, Chiki. Goodness me. Wow. I tell you what, I have to prepare some questions for you, but I think I'm just, I will do away with that script now. No, seriously, because see what you're telling me now. I wish someone told me this 10 years ago, because they're very, very important. No, listen. We'll go to the second last segment of this podcast, and I want to talk about likability. Now, so before I wrote to you, obviously, I want to know who you are, and you talk to mates here and there, and somebody told me that actually Chiki is very, very likable, and Chiki will never show you. Let me read the text, okay? Just give me a second. I want to quote. So this is a mate here, just a moment, start. Right. Okay, but this is wonderful. Chiki is very, very likable and relatable. In fact, you'll never know whether Chiki is in a bad mood or not. Is that you?
Never know if I'm what or not?
Whether you're in a bad mood or not. Like, you always ooze energy. And the reason I'm talking about this is likability part. You want to work with people that are likable. You don't have to be mates or friends, but someone that, you look forward to go to work with and to dance with in your case. When it comes to the mainstream employment, still employers want people that are likable. So what I'm asking you, can you teach likability? You're either boring or not.
Is it about being boring though? Because, okay, so I like people. Genuinely, I like people. I like speaking to people. I like taking time with people. I think you learn something new about yourself and about other people every time you have a conversation. You definitely know when I'm in a bad mood. It just doesn't happen very often. I like life, and I feel like so many people, especially during this period, have lost their lives, and I feel a responsibility to myself and a responsibility to the people who I've loved and lost to make the most of this time that we have on earth, not to be angry at it, not to begrudge it. Now, I understand that that's not easy every single day. I understand that different people go through different things, and as a result of that, that makes that harder. But for me personally, everything I try to consume, I make it positive. Everything that's in my space, I make it positive. And I think then that kind of bounces off. However, there was a time about a year ago when I was working in a space that I was really unhappy. And so many people commented on the fact that light, that jovialness that I have normally, I didn't have it in that moment in time. I lost it. So that really made me realize how vital it is to manage your environment, because whatever you are surrounding yourself with, you will be, and you will kind of like put that out. And I know people hear that all day, every day, but I've been in both environments. I've been in crappy work environments where I become a crappy person in a crappy mood all the time, and it becomes the cool thing to moan about your boss all the time and to moan about, and then you just end up moaning about everything all the time, versus being in a space that I'm in control of. That's important to me. It's not important to everyone. Being able to manage my day in the way that I want, surround myself with creatives, awesome people that I genuinely love, changes who you are. So yeah, I'd say right now I'm likable because I like life and I like people, and normally when you find people who aren't likable, I really try hard not to judge, because you don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. As women, there's trigger warning, but there's gender-based violence, there's fear, there's trauma, there's history. As men, there's pressures that I don't necessarily understand because I'm not one. So I definitely think that we live in a space where you want someone to make you feel good immediately, or that's no one's responsibility to do that for you. However, if you're a person and you want people to respond to you well, then you need to respond to them well. And yes, you might be going through things or whatever, but if we're talking about outcomes, then the better you respond to people, probably the better they're going to respond to you, probably.
Wow. Well, so people that listen to us right now and they're really struggling to get employment, what do you tell them?
First, I will tell them, I'm so sorry. It is such a tough time right now. And I think as someone who, my background is working with people with mental ill health. So I understand depression, and I understand that it's going to be okay is not the right thing to say. I understand that definitely jumping to an immediate advice or solution is also sometimes not the right thing to say.
Yes.
So I just want to start by saying, I'm sorry. It
Yes.
is shit. You are valid in your feelings. You are valid in feeling frustrated at the times that we are in right now. It's just the reality. But I would also say that to an extent, and I appreciate everyone has different backgrounds, but to an extent we have choices. Now, by choices, I mean we can decide who's in our space. We can decide the media that we consume. We can decide the literature that we can consume. We can decide whether we give up or keep going. We can decide to change tactics. We can decide to change our mannerisms when we enter spaces, or we can decide not to. So what I would say is, whilst everything is true, whilst you are completely valid in your feelings, everyone is, the question you have to ask yourself is, and then what? Yes, the environment is crap. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, all of those things are 100% true, but then you have to move past that and ask, and then what? And only you can answer for yourself what that and then what is. What has always worked for me is, if road A isn't working, let me try road B. And in practical terms, that might be, fine, if sending out CVs isn't working, let me start knocking on doors. Let me start calling people in my phone book. Let me try different types of jobs. Let me downgrade with a plan to upgrade later on. That's always worked for me. Or let me not think of employment and think of entrepreneurship. Let me look at funds. Let me look at loans. There are so many ways in 2021 to skin a cat. So I would say that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, I really try and cleanse my environment. When I'm struggling with anything, be it a job or whatever, I really try and cleanse my environment. What am I consuming? What am I listening to? Is it uplifting? Is it positive? What music am I listening to? Is it making me feel uplifted? Is it making me feel positive? How am I managing my physical health? How am I managing my mental health? What are the people in my environment telling me? What are my friends telling me? You can do a lot just by changing your consumption.
Wow, goodness me. Chiki, you mentioned about mentorship. Do you think mentorship is overrated?
Yes and no. I think the term mentorship has become kind of one of these umbrella terminologies to mean someone who like said hi to you all the way through to like real genuine intense. Like I can't tell you how many times on my page people will be like, this is my mentor. Let me tell you, to anyone listening in, most time it's a freaking lie. I've met the person maybe 3 or 4 times. I've had a nice conversation with them. Maybe I've given them some advice, and that's it. And I'm honored that to them that means mentorship, but that's really downplaying what the role of mentorship is. I think, as with anything, mentorship should have specific expectations from one person and the other. So it might be we are meeting up every single week. What I'm wanting from you is to look through my CV. What I'm wanting from you is to help me with networking opportunities. What I'm wanting from you is to hear a pitch that I'm doing and give me some advice. That is mentorship, and that is not overrated. If someone better than you or more advanced of you or with more networks than you can give you specific advice and information, then that's incredible. But this thing that we have right now, hi, I'm feeling low, don't worry, you're going to feel better, that's not mentorship, that's friendship, maybe acquaintanceship. And I'm not saying that it's not important, but I am saying call it what it is. And it devalues mentorship when someone has met you once or twice, gone for coffee, said, don't worry, love, you're great, call me if you need anything, then goes missing for 6 months, which is normally actually what happens.
Unachoma lakini chiki kidogo. Well, so I do like that. So do you actually, okay, so somebody that's listening to us right now, and you know, they clearly they want that kind of help from you, the mentorship part. Do you do that? Are you available for that? I mean, it involves a lot of hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. And to be frank, right now, no, I'm not. I mean, just opening up my company, I do think any good boss should also be a mentor. And I really take a lot of time with my team. We sit down at least once every other day with written targets, objectives, achievements, and sometimes those targets and objectives aren't even work, they're personal, because I'm smart enough to know that if my guys aren't okay at home, they're not going to be okay at work. You know, when we launched, I invited everyone's parents down to the launch. I want to meet your mums. I want to meet your wives. I want to meet your family figures, because I know that if they know that you're comfortable in this space, they're going to support you in this space, versus it just becoming a thing, oh, I've got to go to work now. So that takes up a lot of my time. I will eventually love to do more mentorship, but I believe I have to make sure my guys are okay first.
Right. Well, listen, I've got to acknowledge that when I approached you, you know, when you decided finally to reply, you're very easy to me, and you're very direct in terms of, you know, what do you want from the podcast. And for those listeners for those who listen to us right now, you know, if you're looking for opportunities, you need to know exactly what you want, you know, so that you can articulate, you know, what kind of help you need, or even looking for employment. Listen, Chiki, I feel like I could listen for you the whole evening.
Yeah.
No, and I'm not trying to be polite. I genuinely mean this, you know, and I just hope that whoever's listening to us and need any help from you or whatever, try their luck, right to you, and see whether you get a response or not. Now, the last part of this segment.
We're going to say something about writing to you, because I feel like young people are a bit confused about that.
Yes, please
I
carry on.
get every single day DMs saying hi. Just hi. Now I can screenshot to show that I'm not lying. I probably get about 120 DMs every single day. Now, if your DM just says hi, and what I'm doing is I'm opening a studio, I'm making sure my team are filming, I'm doing one-to-ones, I'm running Kuruka International Limited, which means I'm doing reports for brands, I'm pitching to new people, I'm feeding back to clients, I'm running social media. And I'm physically filming the classes myself, my classes. There are only so many hours in a day. So even me, who's more willing to support and help than most, a hi just doesn't cut it. You need to know how to best present yourself. You need to be able to, like you said, very quickly break down what is it that you're after. And don't ask for, there are many things. Don't ask immediately, hi, Imagine I'm a single mom, I need a job, tafadali. No. Don't say, although it's true, that unfortunately means is the focus becomes your desperation as opposed to your potential skill set.
Ah,
And you should never want to be hired because someone pities you. You have, every human being has a skill set. You should be hired based on your skill set. Or, hi, see you, send me some kidogo pesa because, no. There are so many ways, and I too have had to DM people I don't know before and ask for things. You have to be very specific about what your ask is to begin with, and don't devalue yourself. Every human being is worthy, but as soon as you come crawling rather than standing up straight, someone is looking down at you rather than face to face with you, or not looking at you at all, and it puts you on the wrong footing to begin with.
wow. Are you the force behind Ben? Ben is very, very articulate. So, does he get it from you or you get it from him?
I think we're both quite outspoken.
Well, I like the line you've used that, we should not be looking for sympathy. When you look desperate, then people look down upon you. And I think that's very important, most for young people to understand that when asking for opportunity or help, you don't need to be very sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
And
you can
I
still ask. And that's not saying you don't ask for favors or opportunities. It's how you do it. You can say, hi, how are you? My name is so-and-so. Like I said, my dancer is a great example. He came in, hi, my name is Kelvin. I've come from Isiolo. I've literally just paid my bus fare because I really believe in my talent. I would love for you to see me dance. And if I'm wrong, I'll go back. How do you say no to that? That's like, oh, wow, show me what you can do, and he's brilliant. And 5 years later, we're still working together. Or, hi, my name is whoever. I've never been to school for graphics, but I really think I'm a great graphic designer. Here, check out my graphics. I'd love to see what I could do for you. I think I'd be a great asset for your company. Simple.
Wow. You make it sound very easy, but it's not that easy, though, isn't it? If you're desperate, you go for desperate measures.
It's true, but the problem is then you get desperate solutions. So like it's really important, even in the midst, and we've all been desperate. That's why I said change tact, but don't lower yourself.
Yes.
You can say, you know what, I'm gonna do some freelance whatever. If it's like a desperation of money thing, how do I do some freelance cleaning, or how do I do some freelance whatever? If it's about a sustenance thing, then great. And I think what has been quite powerful in the UK and in the US, which hasn't hit Kenya yet, but it's starting to, and it's really interesting to see, is that creatives have jobs. So that when they're going for auditions, that stink of desperation is not there. Because they're not there because they need the money, they're there because they want the gig. And how you present yourself in those two different circumstances are very different.
Oh, Chiki, you're amazing. And I cannot thank you enough for being on the show. Well, listen, so this is the last part of the segment. It's only one question. I normally present this to my guests and they can say no, yes, they don't want to. So
tell me, are you going to make me do a rap? I'll do it.
Well, you already know what I'm asking. Well, I want you to bring Bien on the show.
Bring Bien on the show?
Yes.
Goodness gracious me. You think Bien took 5 years to propose to me? Do you think I have any say over what Bien does in life?
Okay, no, actually, Chiki, no, come back, come up the camera. Look.
Oh, sorry, my neck.
Look, all you can do, and I've got to prove here, Chiki. I'll send the screenshot later. All you can do is to ask, and if he says it's fine, okay. Now you know the platform. What I'm trying to do, what none of us trying to do really, and I think people like you, you're very hard to get, but you've got information that people need. And again, Saudi Soul, listen, they are not just because they're talents, but even as human beings as well, the way they have developed, listen, I grew up with those guys, I'm probably the same age now. So I'm not asking Bien because of his status, but because of experience. And I think it'll be good to the show. People listen to him, people love him. Or you can just introduce, and if he says no, that's fine. So I want just to say yes or no.
I can definitely ask. There's no harm in asking, but
exactly.
I just want to give a disclaimer about
If it doesn't count, that's fine.
My power in our relationship is not, I wouldn't say it's up there. I mean, it literally took me 4 years to get my dog and then 5 years to get married. So, yeah.
Swear to God, I like your sense of humor. Well, look, Chiki, it's all you can ask. And again, I'm going to try to him. I'll mention that you've been on the show. I will ask. If he's busy, that's fine. But I want to say thank you very much for being here. And for people that listen to us, actually, we'll be doing stuff together. The Shagz, the dance Shagz.
Yes.
Chiki, actually, just very quickly. So what's the dance Shagz? People that are watching us right now.
The dance Shagz is a physical and digital space. 40% physical, 60% digital. So the reason why it's called Dance Shagz, for guys who don't speak Sheng or Swahili, it's the home of dance. It's supposed to feel like when you think of upcountry, when you think of the place that is home, you think of this space. So whether you're a dancer or a non-dancer is irrelevant. Whether you're doing it for fitness or for fun is irrelevant. It's just the home of all things dance. Digitally, we have a subscription-based website, I believe the first in Africa actually, www.thedanceshags.com, where you pay a monthly subscription, and there's like a pool of videos. We upload 24 videos every single week of dance classes. So that ranges from dance cardio classes all the way through to hip hop choreography classes. What we're about to launch on it as well is a kids-based platform where, because our belief is, especially during COVID, speaking to my dad, speaking to parents, friends of mine, a big struggle has been when kids are more home-based, but the same is true, I think, of many teenage parents when there's no COVID. After school, kids just sit in front of the TV. And I think there's a big concern about, well, this sedentary lifestyle, what is that doing for kids? So we're actually launching a whole kids-based platform where there'll be 2 hours worth of active kids content uploaded every single day, where kids have the opportunity to do dance or martial arts from home. So they can call the cousins round, call the friends round, call whatever, but they don't have to be at home sitting down and watching television. They could be doing something active and fun and engaging and learn a new skill from home.
I love that. And where was it was again, please go check out the website. It's www.shags.
No, www.thedanceshags.com.
Right. Well, you get it from Chiki. Well, listen, again, I can't thank you enough. And thank you so much for being on the show. I've never met you. This is the first time actually I'm seeing your face. So people there, they cannot have, can happen. It's happened to me now. I need to pinch myself after talking to Chiki. Well, thank you very, very much. Please pass my regards to Ian, who made this possible as well. So thank you, and I wish you all the best, Chiki.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin.
So, bye for now.